Okay, all right. Just first of all, I just want to thank everyone for being willing to serve for VBS. If you have friends, if you're a youth person and you have a friend who you're like, you know what, they might need community service hours, or I want to serve with them, then I encourage you to have them reach out to me, and then we will make sure that we try and get them signed up. So make sure that also you know these dates. So our dates are July 18th through the 21st. It is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. We do not do Friday morning. It is only 4 days. Our theme this year is monumental, celebrating God's greatness. And so it is a Southwest theme. So think like Grand Canyon, cactuses, giant arches, things like that. And so that is going to be our theme this year, celebrating God's greatness. And so what I like about that is the fact that if you think of like yourself standing in the middle of a giant canyon or on the edge looking out over it, we can feel so small, and we can also feel how great God is and how great his creation is. We live in a place that does not have things like that. We have beautiful beaches, we have palm trees, we have things like that, we have lots of sand, but we do not have things like giant mountains, giant arches, or Grand Canyons. And so I think this is going to be a really fun theme for us this year. Make sure that you did fill out the volunteer sheet. If you are 18 or over, I do need you to make sure that you fill out a background check form. That is one of the things that we do. If you've done one in the past, they are good for 2 years. So I also have a list to see who is current on it. We are looking at, for t-shirts this year, we are looking at maybe a yellow or a soft purple or something like that. We will do the really nice soft ones again for our volunteers. The kids usually get one that's not as nice, but for us volunteers, I like us to have something soft and comfy. You will make sure that you wear it every single day. So if you have kids if you're in a group that maybe has messy children and you're helping them with crafts and your shirt gets dirty, please make sure that you wash it and wear it the next day. Okay. Pastor Drew's favorite joke is get a good Febreze spray in. I'm a proponent in putting it in the washing machine, but that is just the difference between us. He thinks Febreze is fine. So sorry. All right. Last year, with COVID, we made sure that we did temperature checks and stuff like that. This year, we're not going to do that, but we will, again, have like your little things full in your boxes with your team. We will have our hand sanitizer, things like that. We will constantly encourage children to wash their hands. If you have kids who go to the bathroom in the middle of one of your stations, just gently ask them, did you wash your hands? Because little kids sometimes just come right out and don't wash their hands. So you will make sure that you ask them if they wash their hands. Just common sense like that is one of the things that we're going to do. We're not requiring masks or anything like that. Didn't require it last year. Things went just fine. Our next mandatory meeting will be Sunday, July 20th. So we will be over in the chapel area. The decorations will be going on. That we're getting everything ready. That is when you will get your assignment for what team you're assigned to. That will be when you get your t-shirt. We will have lunch, and it will be a longer meeting. This one I try to keep short. Just make sure that you get some of those basic information things for you. But that is when you will be there. Yeah, sorry.
Sunday, you didn't.
Oh, sorry, it's 17th. I have here the 20th, but then I'm like, we start the 18th. That must be a typo from last year. So sorry. It's got to be the 17th. Yes, I just did the mental math the same time you did, and I'm like looking at that, and I'm like, that does not match up because I know when we have yes, the 18th. Thank you so much. Yes, it is the 17th. That Sunday beforehand. If you come the 20th, what is that? Wednesday? Yeah, that's not going to work. All right. Also, we will have on Monday through Thursday. So after Thursday, one thing that I ask you guys to do is if you can stick around for an extra 10 or 15 minutes. There are so many things that we have to put back. We're going to have over 200 chairs set up in the chapel. If you can stick around and help put chairs up, that would be greatly appreciated. There's going to be tables all over the place that we have brought from other rooms. So if you can spend a few minutes, ask your parents to wait for you or whatever, and help put away tables. I will try to make sure that last year we did a really good job of knowing where everything came from. I will do the same thing this year. And right now it's looking like I won't be there for the last day because we have a family reunion that had already been planned in North Georgia. So I will just make sure, so Pastor Drew will be in charge of that as well as Miss Rachel. And for those of you who don't know Miss Rachel, she helped out with registration last year and in the service department, and she will be one of my right-hand people, and so she'll make sure that we know where everything goes. I will be super detailed. I like to be detailed. There is Friday night is a family sing-along. You are not required to come to that, but if you do decide to come on Friday night, it's at 5:30 in the main sanctuary. Wear your t-shirt, find your kids, give them high fives, things like that. That's one of the biggest things is you connect with these kids. That's one of the number one things that we ask you to do during VBS is connect with these kids, get to know their names, ask them what school they go to. Look for those kids who don't know anybody because they will need to make a connection, and you might be that connection. Or you connect them with somebody else in the group. Try to make your group feel like a family, And so team spirit is really big. I don't know. Number one thing for you youth, so sorry, you can't have your phone. You can't have your phone. And you can't be like this because this doesn't allow you to look out at these kids and connect with them. You can have it, and we can put it somewhere in the back sound stage or something like that. So that way it's not a possible distraction. And that way when your parents come at the end of the day, you can go grab your phone and we'll put it behind that locked area and stuff like that. But having your phone, adults, we want you to have your phone because if there is an issue within your team and you need to contact me or Pastor Drew or the nurse or anything like that, then you can do that. But youth, if there's a problem, you tell your team leader, your adult team leader, and they will get everything. But I don't want you in your phone. I want you in with the kids, engaging with them, getting to know them, looking for the ones who need a friend. Because there's always, always, always at least one on every team who needs a friend. And you might be that friend. And they may love on you, and I encourage you to love on them back. And have fun, have a fun time. Just energy up at all times. I know it's 4 hours, and I know that sometimes it can feel like 4 hours of pure energy can be really hard. But if I can do it, you can do it. I'm almost 46. If I can do it, you guys can do it. I know you can. I know you can. All right. Also, eat breakfast every day, but there are snacks for you. Hello, guys. How are you? She does, yes. Is that your little sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And so, but there are snacks for you guys. So when your team goes to snack, you can sneak away to the volunteer snack room. It's not lunch, but feel free. Our church is so generous and always gives so many donations for us to be able to have great snacks. So feel free to grab snacks, take your water with you. Usually we'll get the mini waters, so if you want to drink one while you're in there and then take one with you, feel free. If you need to put a protein bar in your back pocket, you can do that. But I encourage you to have breakfast every morning before you come, and then you can have your snack there as well. It's also not party time in the snack room, so please make sure that you clean up after yourself, that it's not your time to go out and forget that you are still a team leader. Monday when the kids begin arriving. So you youth leaders, adults, we usually keep you in the chapel with your team, and then youth leaders, we have you come out into the courtyard area where as the kids are arriving, we'll be like, here's Marina, she's Team Coyote, and you would take Marina to Team Coyote. It may not be your team. It may not be a kid on your team, but we just ask you to grab those kids because the parents are not allowed in the chapel for arrival or dismissal because there's too much chaos in there and we could lose a kid. And so if we have that accountability where we see them, we make that connection. I see that Beckham is your child. I will go get Beckham for you. We go get Beckham. We come back out with Beckham. We make that connection with the eyes of the parents again. Here is Beckham. He's not going to some random person. We also make sure that the parents let us know when they drop them off if somebody else is going to be picking them up. So we always try to make sure. So we just ask for you guys to, again, make those connections, high energy, and just pay attention. If you see some child wandering around by themselves, we find out, who are you? Where do you belong? You have a name tag. Okay, let's make sure that you're with the right team. Then we also, when we are in our groups and we're going from station to station, make sure no child is the caboose and no child is the line leader. An adult or a youth has to be the line leader, an adult or a youth has to be the caboose. They will like to try to hold the door open for everybody. That's great, but you also stand there with them and make sure, because somebody's going to wander off. And we got to make sure that nobody wanders off, that everybody stays accounted for. Head counts when we get there, head counts before we leave, little things like that. You will have a clipboard with every child's name on it. Every child has a name tag, and you don't let them take their name tag off. I know last year, one day they all decided to put their name tag on Davis, and it was super fun. And that was okay. We knew at this point in time, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, we knew who everybody was because they loved Davis, though. They loved Davis. Davis had made that connection with his group, and they loved him. And they knew who, and we knew who was in his group at that point in time as well, and that really helped. I'm so sorry. Okay. We try to have at least one volunteer for every 4 to 5 children. So when you had the opportunity to sign up today on the registration form, and for those of you who came in later, if you did not scan the QR code, go ahead and do that. But you can put a request in, but know that if you are younger, if you are entering 6th grade or 7th grade, I'm not going to put you with the 4th and 5th graders because you're too close in age to them. So you can put that request in, but don't get disappointed when Miss Joanna puts you with a pre-K group or a kindergarten group. I need an age gap there to make sure that you don't act like the kids that you're helping. So, but also know that if you are in high school, then you will more than likely be with like 3rd, 4th, or 5th graders. Let me see. I think we're getting really close to the end here. Number one thing we want to remember is who we are serving this week. We are serving Jesus. We are serving Jesus. And so even though we may not be happy with the group that we're with, or we may have a struggle with a child that's in there, please remember that you can come to me at any point in time and say, hey, I'm really struggling with so-and-so in my group. Okay? We don't expect you to have to handle all of the discipline problems. That's what I'm there for. That's what Pastor Drew is there for. Rachel will help us with that as well. And so we will make sure that we have issues. And if we have to call a parent, we'll call a parent. But we also want you to remember that we are here for Jesus and that we are here to allow these kids to have the best time possible. It's not about you. It's about Jesus. If you do not have my phone number or Drew's phone number, see me at the end of this meeting. I will make sure you get my phone number. Last thing, bathroom safety. Okay, so we don't go into a stall with any child. We will make sure that we go to the bathroom with them, but it might be something where you stand outside of the stall or outside of the bathroom itself. We don't ever do that, and we also will go in twos. Because we have to have accountability. And so if Megan and Peyton are going to take a little girl to the bathroom, then they'll go together. They'll stand outside. If there's any form of an accident or anything like that, every child has to be potty trained in order to come here, but that doesn't mean that accidents won't happen. Then you let your adult know. The adult will let myself or Pastor Drew know, and then we will make sure that we contact those parents. We do not change clothes. We do not change, there's no diapers at this point in time, but we don't do anything like that. But we will stay with the kid, make sure that they hopefully don't feel embarrassed, especially if they're older or anything like that. Make sure kids aren't making fun of them or whatever, but we'll bring them out to the nurse as well. And so that way they won't sit there in wet pants or something like that with the rest of their group and feel humiliated in any way, shape, or form. And so we'll try to make sure that, it's been years since we've had anything like that. I think the last one might have been when somebody threw up on themselves, but older kids having accidents, we haven't really had to deal with it, but you never know. And so we do address it. Also, make sure that because of fire code, we had to get rid of all of the doorstops. that come down on our doors. And so some of these doors are heavy and they will close quickly. And so we have rubber door stops that we try to use at all times, but there are going to be some big doors that we will go through. And so make sure that we look out for pinched fingers and stuff like that, making sure that an adult is helping a child hold the door open or anything like that. Because I know kids love to help. And they're like, I got this, Miss Joanna, I can do this. And then it's a little bit too big of a door for them. So just little things like that we look out for, trying to make sure the kids are safe. They're having fun. We don't have pinched fingers, don't have accidents, things like that. I think that covered everything. I appreciate you guys just being here, willing to help. Again, if you have friends that you think, hey, I want to do VBS with them, reach out to them, and we will have a great, great week. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Grab a snack if you need to on the way out.